works.
There we are. Now I see your slide.
Here we go.
All right, wonderful. All right, let's wait while people join.
Hello, hello. Sorry, I'm late.
Hi, Kate.
Okay.
My previous meeting went over a little bit, but
No worries. We're just waiting for people to join.
awesome. Hey, everybody.
Hey there.
Justin, I don't think we've met.
That might be, yeah, that might be true. Hey, I'm sorry, my connection is super broken, so I can't really turn on the camera. I'd love to.
That's all right. Hey, Marcus. Hey, Colin. Hey, Rachel.
Hello.
Hello.
Let's wait just one more minute and then we can get started.
Thank you. Oh, by the way, Rianne, did you delete the invite for the 27th?
I believe I did.
Okay.
Double check again, but I believe I did.
Okay, if not, I just had to delete it myself yesterday, so I just wanted to remind you if that
Yes,
wasn't done to
awesome.
the members.
I'm sure I did. Let me just check real quickly.
No worries. Hey, Ben, welcome back.
Hi, good to be back.
Where'd you go?
I was in Arizona for
Oh.
a couple days of sun and warmth, which was very nice.
Oh, that's good. I need some warmth.
Yes, it felt very good.
Come to South Africa. We have a summer Christmas.
Oh, that's right.
Here in Brazil as well.
Yeah, that's right. That's
So,
very
all right, folks,
awesome.
let's get started. So welcome to the last meeting of the Outreach Committee on the Confidential Computing Consortium. Hopefully this is going to be a very lightweight meeting. And so who is the CCC? We are a community focused on open source licensing projects, securing data in use. Every member is welcome. This is the antitrust policy notice. If you have any questions, you can ask Rian and Ben. And our agenda is pretty light today. We don't want to have something very heavy as the last meeting. So let's get started with, before we get started, approval of outreach minutes. I believe we don't have quorum, do we?
I am not as quick as Helen on that yet, but looking quickly, I think no.
1, 2, 3. Oh, so close.
All right, so I guess the minutes are automatically approved. So thank you, Rian, for taking the minutes. And by the way, Helen, as you might have noticed, she's not attending these meetings anymore because she just had a baby. So congratulations to Helen. And before we get started, if we have any new members who would like to introduce themselves, or somebody who has not for a long time introduced themselves, please feel free to do so. So maybe we get started with Justin, if that's okay.
Yeah, sure. I mean, it's been a while since I've attended a meeting, but I've been here previously before. So yeah, I'm Justin. I'm part of the marketing team at Enclave. So what we basically do is we help businesses move their workloads into the cloud, while keeping their data as safe as possible, as for example, as comparable for a private data center, etc. In terms of this, we've developed a few systems within a Vault, which is basically a key management system, Nitride, which is basically a remote workload identity management, and a virtual hardware security module that basically combines those two tools, in order to help businesses transform or basically shift to the cloud. Yeah, sorry, my English is a little bit broken today, but I hope you could all follow.
No, it's perfect.
No, you're perfect.
Yeah, all right. Welcome, Justin, to the last meeting, and hopefully next year you'll be able to continue.
Thank you so much.
Let me see who else. I don't see any new names. So let's continue. Let's invite a new name, actually, Rachel. Let me go back.
Oh.
Sorry about that. All right. So Rachel, if you'd like to introduce yourself and talk a bit more about our partnership at DEF CON this year, that would be wonderful.
I wanted to kind of later. So the reason why I brought Rachel in is so that, we can talk about what wonderful things that we did for this year, and also to give you all members a preview of what it would look like and what we would, be like working with or engaging in DEF CON as a community. And specifically, Rachel manages the IoT Village. But there are so many great opportunities there. So I just wanted to bring in the expert from, who is living, breathing DEF CON space to give us some lay of the land, how we can look at, going forward for 2024, how we can engage, what would be the opportunity and why it's important to engage with that audience and whatnot. So Rachel, take it away. Thank you. Thank you for coming.
Yeah, thank you. Thanks for having me. My name's Rachel. I am from a company called Independent Security Evaluators out of Baltimore, Maryland. We are a cybersecurity consulting firm that are the organizers behind IoT Village. So if you've never heard of IoT Village, we are one of the core DEF CON villages, or like core content providers. We also go to a lot of B-Sides events. We've been to conferences like Texas Cyber Summit. And then our other big event of the year is our SA conference in San Francisco every year. We're one of the core sandbox content providers there. So at IoT Village, we provide attendees and partners with a really immersive, connective networking experience. So we do that through a variety of different ways. Our number one goal is to provide a space for like education and community. So we have a lot of hands-on activities and marketing efforts that we do to incorporate all of that together. We have a 4-time Black Badge Capture the Flag hacking contest. A Black Badge is the best of the best, most elite award a CTF can be granted at DEF CON. Now we don't win that, means a contestant won it, but we get the notoriety of saying that that's happened 4 times with our CTF. So our CTF brings in anywhere from 150 to 300 attendees. Those people, come knocking on our door first thing Friday morning, and they don't leave until Sunday afternoon. They come all the way to Vegas just to compete in our contest. Our other core piece of content is our interactive labs. I always describe those as think back to when you were in science class and your teacher gives you that packet of information and step by step you're walking through, and at the end you've created some type of chemical reaction or you've dissected something. In our labs, you're hacking into a live device. So at DEF CON this year, a good example is we had light bulbs. We had Govee light bulbs that our team found vulnerabilities in, and we turned those into labs. So attendees were able to sit down and follow the steps in the lab and change the colors of the light bulb, turn it on and off. It was a lot of fun, and just something really, eye-catching and different. And then we partner with other organizations like yours to either bring in educators or swag or demos of some kind, whatever it is, to help bring additional people into the space. So DEF CON normally gets somewhere around 30,000 attendees, and based on our engagement numbers, we estimate that 1 in 10 DEF CON attendees come through IoT Village between Friday to Sunday. So it's a lot of foot traffic. IoT Village gets its own room that's anywhere from 5,000 to 7,000 square feet. And we try to make it just this really cool, casual environment that's really welcoming to people of all different backgrounds. We get student-aged people that are looking to break into the industry, or maybe they're still in high school or college and they're just trying to have some fun with a hobby. We get people that are everywhere from your security analysts and engineers all the way to CEOs and VPs at companies like GE, Disney. I mean, you name it, they're there. You just might not know it because DEF CON, everyone kind of, they like to hide a little bit. You're not going to have someone with a name tag like you are at RSA. So it requires a little bit of finagling to get people talking. But it's a really, really fun experience. And what's great about it is that by being in the IoT Village, we see a lot of brand awareness opportunities for our partners and our collaborators. So people are going to walk in and walk up to you and say, who are you? What do you do? And you're going to have an opportunity to educate them about what the Confidential Computing Consortium does and your mission. And you are going to walk away with a new ally in your ventures. So it's really fun. It's really unique. We have people that come, partners that come Friday through Sunday. We have people that come for just one day. We provide badges to our partners to make sure that you get into the space, and we try to make sure that you have time to go see all the other fun stuff happening at DEF CON throughout the week. So yeah, that's kind of high level of who we are, what we do. I don't know if anyone has any questions for me.
Yeah, I have comments, Rachel. Thank you for that. And what's nice about DEF CON is that it's not just one event. Multiple events inside DEF CON, right? Like the IoT Village, but also throughout the whole week, you have several other events. So it's almost like 5 events in one. You have DEF CON, you have Diana Initiative, you have Black Hats, you have B-Sides, as you mentioned, and so many others. So I think it's really worth us going there and participating at these events. What I liked the IoT Village is that, as you said, there are people who are going to come on the first day and they're going to spend the whole 3 days there and only leave on the last day, trying to hack into the systems and explore and learn. You mentioned the light bulb, but there was also a coffee machine at the last conference that I recall. Unfortunately, there was no coffee, but at least the coffee machine was there. And I think we can organize something really interesting, like if we can work together with tech and each CCC project to have a challenge, a hack challenge, or some really fun demos, I think it would be really interesting.
So I think what I'm looking at is this.
Yeah.
So this is like for this, that when DEF CON is happening, there are multiple other events like a Black Hat, like Nick mentioned, there are Diana Initiative, B-Sides, and there are so many happening. And I know, we have Powens managing demos, and we would also I forget, Rachel, what's the partnership packages were, but basically there was an opportunity where we could do pre-roll of, I don't know, some sort of a webinar. I'm not sure if that's even feasible. So we could push that out through our, web presence avenue. So there are so many things that we could do. And then I remember we also mentioned about, specific demos, like, maybe bring it to the hackers and then have them hack into, I don't know, one of the hardware. I'm just making that up probably, but I feel like there is different piece that needs to be met. I know we are targeting for many slightly different audience groups. We have a different vision for different messaging strategy for different group. So something that to think about when we plan out for 2024. So this was very, very helpful.
Yeah, and we have partners that bring all different kinds of things. So in 2023, we had 11 unique pieces of content that was running either scheduled or simultaneously from like 10 a.m. Friday morning until DEF CON shut its doors on Sunday afternoon. And that ranged from, we had a book signing, we had the coffee machines that people were hacking into, we had hardware hacking challenges, we had like just demos of somebody kind of talking and walking people through what they were doing in more of like open forum. We've had in the past, we had Starbucks one year. They brought in their like the machines that like you can't buy, like they're only in Starbucks, right? And like people were hacking into those. We've had drones flying through the village before. We've had people doing trainings on how to break in to the cyber industry, and people were running like sample interviews of like, here's the types of questions that you should prepare for, or here's how to do a roundtable interview. And we've had all kinds of things. So I see some hands raised.
Yeah, let's.
We have
How
some
long?
hands up. So, Paul, yeah, please.
Yeah. So thank you for the overview, Rachel. So I just wanted to understand. So I hear a lot about hacking and trying to break into things. Is that what the main focus is, or is there going to be So just to give some context, right? Like the way I see it, confidential computing is more on the defensive side than the attack side, right? Like we're trying to protect systems. So is there any example on how maybe a more defensive system has been presented at these events? Do you have any examples around that and how that was messaged?
It's received very well. The IoT Village audience is very broad in terms of their interests. So we've had people give like presentations or talks in the past. I don't know if we'll be able to do talks this year. DEF CON is a little bit wishy-washy about the villages having stages post-pandemic, but we have had people give talks on that in the past. It's been very well received. We often see that defense-related topics generate a lot of questions and a lot of conversation. So since DEF CON's removed stages from the villages, we've organized a lot of like just more like roundtable talks where we literally put a group of chairs together and we give someone a microphone, and it's a little bit more low key. But defense is of high interest, and it's of high interest with IoT in general, I think, especially because the company that's behind IoT Village, we're a team of ethical hackers that hack into stuff all day long. So we're trying to teach people where the vulnerabilities are and how to defend against it. So that's a message that's really important to us.
Sal, would you like to comment?
Yeah, a couple of things, right? So there's a portfolio of products that CCC represents. We're not Starbucks. So if we take something that we have, right, we're not taking a product that we've purchased and trying to do a cybersecurity proof of product. We are doing the cybersecurity proof of products. And again, back to the defensive point, I don't think like DEF CON aside, good idea maybe, but IoT specifically, we do runtime defensive security. We don't have any IoT for you to hack. It's not.
That's we don't just have IoT in IoT Village. We have people bring in all kinds of bizarre, strange things. I mean, the company behind IoT Village is actually an application security. IoT is just kind of a hobby, so to speak. So I mean, we have people that bring in hardware and they slap it on a table and they tell people to go nuts. So, and it's not just all about hacking. You can bring demos in that show how to defend against X, Y, and Z. Hacking's just, it's a very, very broad term, right? So it's not the only thing we do. It's not the only thing we're passionate about. Again, like I said at the beginning, at the end of the day, we're there for education. So whatever it is that you want to educate that community on is what we're going to promote and market.
Yeah, I see that Mike has his hands up.
Yeah, thanks. Hey, Rachel. Thanks, Mike Farron Jones from Intel. Thanks for coming. A question in terms of the scope of the folks that come there. From like 99-ish% of the confidential computing industry as it sits today is focused on data center technology. It goes on in servers, in data centers, maybe out in servers deployed on enterprises and edge. And many of the examples that you're describing are the IoT examples. Are the folks who are part of the community here also interested in data center technology and servers? And are they, if we participated, are we giving, it's like, hey, we came here to hack light bulbs and IoT devices, and you're throwing a server on the table. Is that going to be viewed as a mismatch?
I don't think it's going to be viewed as a mismatch. I think it's going to be pretty well received. IoT Village has actually partnered with Intel several times in the past, and it was always very exciting for the DEF CON attendees to get to interact with you guys. And a lot of times, we're talking a lot about content. You don't have to bring content, right? Like, it can be just bringing educational resources and talking to people and networking. So I think servers would go over quite well because it's a very curious bunch at DEF CON. They're coming to learn, they're coming to interact, and they want to pick your brains and learn about the next big thing that's going on in each space. So
okay.
Yeah, so
and then
I want to offer. Go ahead,
just
sorry, Mike.
one other question, Nick. What is the general rule when somebody is successful? Because I can tell you from experience, that we partner with the ethical hacking and research community all the time. It's just that there's and we do coordinated disclosures and things like that, but it never really goes well for the company involved, right? You're never, the headline does not reward you for your collaboration with the community. It says, you suck and your stuff is not secure. What is what's the vibe or the kind of the way that it works within the DEF CON community when something is, a vulnerability is discovered?
I think there's always going to be those one or two bad eggs. I can say that through IoT Village, we've been around since 2014. We've never had an issue with ethical disclosure in the village. We stated explicitly in all of our marketing. And we're always very, very careful when we do bug bounty activities. So if we marketed it as a bug bounty activity, we would have language in the instructions provided to the people that sit down to that activity as to what they can and cannot do. Like GE Appliances, for example, they donated coffee machines last year, or this year rather, and they did not have any issues Granted, nobody found any O days or anything in their devices. Someone did spew hot water all over the village, though, so that was a little bit of a disaster. I don't know how they hacked into it to get it to do that, but I know that that's pretty vague, that we haven't had an issue with it, but we truly haven't. We've been very fortunate that people have followed the rules at DEF CON. DEF CON also has a pretty strict policy, and nobody wants to risk getting banned from DEF CON, because that's where everybody who's anybody goes. So people tend to follow the rules there pretty well. I only know of, I think, 1 or 2 people that have ever been banned from DEF CON, and it's 30+ years, and it's not been for O days. So
All right, thanks.
Okay.
Yes.
I think these are
All right,
all great
so-
points in the conversation, and thank you, Rachel, for bringing us some insights and your experience and helping us kind of talk this through. So we really appreciate your time, and we'll talk to you very soon.
yeah, absolutely. And if anyone does have
All
any
right.
other questions,
Yeah.
please feel to just send me an email, and I'm happy to give you further examples of why IoT Village is more than just, hacking IoT.
All right. Thank you,
Thank
Rachel.
you.
And
Thanks. Bye-bye.
thank you everyone for your comments as well. So Kate and I will analyze your questions, and we're going to work something out with Rachel. So thank you for that.
Yeah,
So,
I mean, we would like
Kate,
to bring this conversation as a group. Like we would want to have this conversation, and the reason why I brought Rachel in is so that we can all talk about this, like in this open, So anyway, so we do have to move on. Pawan had a quick agenda that you want to share. Pawan, you want to kind of bring it in real quick? Do you still have time?
you're muted.
You're muted.
Yeah, sorry, I just saw that. Yes, I do. I have to drop in 5 minutes, but I just wanted to bring this up quickly. So I had CIS. I'm just going to paste the link. So CIS is Center for Internet Security. So they're a nonprofit, I believe, that provides scripts and I think technical guidance on how to protect VMs and other software stacks. So they reached out to me a few weeks back. So they are publishing a paper on TEEs, basically a market survey. And the way they're positioning TE/confidential computing is making it easier for smaller businesses and non-enterprises that don't have a lot of resources to achieve a greater security, greater security using confidential computing. So they reached out and asked if Microsoft would, collaborate, but I thought this was better to be done through the CCC. So I just wanted to get thoughts on this. I can ask, so the CTO of CIS reached out to me. I can ask her to join one of our conversations in the new year, but I just wanted to gauge if the team is, supportive of that.
Yeah. I think that would be great.
Perfect. Yeah. And they also want to see if we can amplify their market research and such. I think it's all good, but I'll let her deliver the message. So yep, I'll invite her to one of the calls in the new year.
All right. Thank you, Pam, for recommending her. And if somebody else wants to recommend somebody to attend these meetings as well, please feel free to do so. We'll be happy to receive that person. All right. So, Kate, we're going to move forward to a new section around retrospective of what we accomplished this year. Is that correct?
Sure.
All right. So we wanted to share a few slides of how the year came by, just as a fun way of reflecting about what we have done. And so we are going to go month by month. And basically, January, February, we had lots of fun at FOSDEM and State of OpenCon. So as you know, FOSDEM is a large conference happening in Brussels every year, very tech-oriented as well. And State of OpenCon was the first conference of this edition in London, and it was very, very well as well. We had a table there at State of OpenCon, and Liz Moy was there helping me at the table, and we got some really good conversations there. And I think that was very good. If we can participate again at these events, FOSDEM, it's already certain that we'll be helping them. And instead of OpenCon, I believe there's still a call for papers and tables might be available, but I definitely recommend for us to be there. And these events happen at the same time, basically, one after the other. Since we have Saul here, Saul, are you part of Open UK?
Yes, I was just about to put in the abstract
Oh,
that got accepted.
wonderful.
I'll give
Oh,
the
nice.
computing talk, The Art of Invisible Conversations in a Digital World, because the UK really likes fun titles, but I'm doing it not in the security, I'm doing it in the government and policy, because I think kind of to the point that was made earlier, the ideal targets that I have for CCC in the next 2 years, it's like state and local governments need CC, right? They need that.
Mhm.
So I'm trying to get this information out to them.
That's wonderful, Saul. And Saul has very good connections with Open UK, and they're very much focused on working together with the UK government and in Europe as well. So this is a nice way for us to introduce CCC and work together with them. So I see we have a comment here. Oh, yes, so that's exactly it. All right, thank you, Saul, very much. Let's jump to the next month. Who here remembers Ben? We miss Ben. So Ben, he helped us launch our website in March, April. We also had FOSS Backstage and OC3, and we're going to be participating at OC3 again. And so Ben was fundamental on working together. I think we spent like almost 1 year trying to get the website done, but now I think it's pretty good. If anyone has any comments, suggestions of how we can make the website better, please let us know.
And we have a web
So
presence
let's jump.
SIG, so we
Oh yeah,
so we will
exactly.
Okay, moving on.
Wonderful. Yes, please join this SIG. May, so who we have here? So we have Kate at RSA, and is that Pawan? Or am I
No,
mistaken?
so that's again, that was my personal picture you grabbed without my permission.
Oh, I cannot use it? Sorry about that.
No, it's okay, but it's like my my friend and counterpart at Google.
Oh, wonderful. All right. So Kate had a very good presence at RSA, and hopefully we're going to be part of that as well again this
Yes.
year.
And real quick, while we're
go
here,
ahead.
so RSA, I did find an opportunity for us to have a small booth at RSA. Are we all interested?
Nice.
For very little money, little investment. It wasn't like 100K, it was actually 17K. So it was like, oh, no brainer.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's
So, I mean,
amazing, Kate. Yeah.
it's you know, it's crowded, it's a zoo, it's all the things that you hate about large multifunction trades shows, but for 17K, go.
Yes.
Yeah.
And also this will be
Exactly.
an opportunity for all of you, right? All of the members and all of the projects. So I feel like having that space at RSA, I think that would be very meaningful.
That's really awesome, Kate. Good job there. Now going to June and July, again, we had a half hour organized by Kate, which was very good. And this was the first time that many members of our community met in person, and it was a very good networking opportunity. Also, we had CC Summits being led by Raluca and her team. this was our first edition of the CC Summits, and it was really amazing, beyond our expectations. We had 250 attendees. We actually had to shut down registrations because we went over capacity. All the talks were really good. The website has all the recording videos, and you can watch that. And we're happy to be co-organizing this event again this next year. So we have one last question from Saul. Yes, 17K for a table at
Yeah, we get that
That's amazing.
opportunity. Basically, their sponsorship is closed. They're, for like Intel, we are on the wait list. So, like there is no space available, but we have advantage because of this. We are strategic, what is it? We're a partner, not sponsor. So with that partner status, we're given an opportunity to participate in this small section, and they allocated, a couple spot for groups like this. So I'm going to jump on it.
Yeah,
No,
wonderful, Kate. Wonderful. And thank you for Intel for providing that opportunity as well. So we're very excited about CCC Summits. Work is already underway. If you have a company that's part of the CCC, and if you want to sponsor that events, we're looking for sponsors, and we're hoping to have 500 attendees. So we're going to double that. And we're also going to have, instead of 1 day, we're going to have 2 days of conference. So if you want to be part of that, let us know. Reach out to myself, to Kate, to Ben, and Ria.
Nick, did
All
the
right.
date get announced on that one yet? Do we have the
Oops.
exact date for the CC
Yeah,
Summit?
I think in
we do
the
have,
date
yeah.
was like 5th and 6th. Is that correct, Nick? June 5th and 6th?
I don't recall exactly, but I think that's right. Yeah.
Is it?
I think that's
is it
what I
published-
saw.
Is it published somewhere public? So
No,
I can
they're not
reference
going to publish the website until I think after December. I
after
think their
December. Okay.
intention is to publish it or launch the website for 2024 in January timeframe. Because I think we're still finalizing the sponsors and some of the logistics, I believe. But date is June 5th and 6th. I believe that's firm date.
Yeah, and we do have a prospectus, and the dates are firmed.
Yeah,
All
that
right,
makes sense.
moving on. August and September, we were at the Diana Initiative as a sponsor. We helped to bring 9 ladies to attend these events.
We missed it. When did the Wikipedia got published? We missed that milestone.
Yeah, you're right.
Right?
Oh, right. At
Oh, we
RSA
included
on
it.
May.
Okay. It was buried.
Yes,
Okay.
exactly. So sorry about that. So
That
thank
was
you so
one of
much
the big
for
milestones I
Mike.
wanted to highlight.
Exactly. Thank you, Mike Farron-Jones, for really bringing the Wikipedia up. I believe when we published that, we had 76 citations. And right now, last time I looked, we had over 80 citations. It was one of the best articles. I mean, very technical and very detailed and full of citations. So thank you so much, Mike, for pushing that. That was tremendous.
It's also been remarkably stable. We had some initial go rounds
Yeah.
with a couple of people who had, access to grind, but it's been, there's been edits on it, there's been some additions to it, but they've all generally been pretty helpful. And so, yeah, it's great that it's not turning into some big battleground. And you look at the page views and people are checking it out.
Wonderful. Yeah, that's perfect, Mike. And also, Mike Purcell joined as the CCC executive director at that period. All right. Sorry about that. Thank you, Kate.
Sorry.
I almost missed that important part. August and September, we were at the Diana Initiative and DEFCON as well. We also had the mini summits, open source summits, Bilbao. That was fantastic as well. Oh, and as part of the Diana Initiative, we had Dritch, who presented confidential computing to the audience, which was very well received as well. And Mike started presenting at in Asia, KubeCon Shanghai as well. Next,
I believe
October
Mike
and November.
Barcel had meetings mostly. So KubeCon Shanghai was one of the first, I think, Asia Pacific activation. We did not have any like talks or anything, but here Mike did made a lot of connection, which led us to many other Asia Pacific engagement, which you will be seeing.
Wonderful, perfect. October and November, we were part of the Linux Foundation Member Summit in Monterey. Mike was there presenting, and also we organized a PATS, the Privacy Enhancing Technology Summits at Asia, Singapore, if I'm not mistaken. And that was very, very well received as well. So we're making
We've
a
got
big
some
presence in Asia.
Yeah, we've got some feedback from the organizer. What were some, insights from the audience responses to the CC being in, because we took over the whole morning sessions at the conference. So I collected some feedback, which in the first meeting in just January, I want to bring back that conversation as we're looking at events, because PET is a series. So they also have Europe and they also have North America. So kind of like going back to let's look at the insights and what was takeaway and how we were being received with the audience there. And then we can strategize for the upcoming events, if any, that is relevant.
Perfect. I didn't put the slide for December yet because we don't have any photos, but I know that Mike was there for Open Source Summits Japan as well. We're soon going to have a blog post about that. And Noah, who's our social media specialist at the Linux Foundation, he's doing basically a retrospective of everything that we accomplished this year. This campaign is already running, so he's publishing this on X, Twitter, LinkedIn, wherever, and it's a nice way for us to celebrate. So we would like to thank everyone who has helped accomplish this, and we look forward to working together with you in 2024 as well. So now, Kate.
So this is basically like wrapping up the entire year, and without any, we're a lot of times that we're focusing on more tactical things like to-do lists and all of that. But I feel like this would be a great chance for us to kind of throw some crazy idea. What would we want to accomplish this next year? It doesn't have to be something tangible. It can be crazy. I just wanted to open up the floor and then have everyone to, I don't know, just throw some ideas. What can we do? What is our priority, or what do we want to accomplish next year? I know y'all have good ideas.
Well, we've got the it's probably good as time of any to we want to do the use case white paper or catalog, of which to my call for participation, I have received a response. So it's a really light lift, guys. Please just find somebody who can talk about a use case for half an hour with a Linux Foundation research person, and it's we're all working in this space, so somebody can talk about something you can do with this. So anyway, that's one of the things we're working on.
Yeah. So use case, I feel like that's a big thing, and we are targeting this to be the the customer and end user perspective, like that to be the audience that we want to address. Is that right? In this report?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's, and it's just, somebody talking about using multi-party collaboration, anonymous multi-party collaboration for mergers and acquisitions, or key management solutions and security using, confidential computing. Somebody at Microsoft talking about, their new the payment system that they blogged about. Those kind of things are all exciting things that we would love to have as part of the document.
Yes,
I'll
Saul,
put up
I see your hands raised.
I think there's somebody else too, but my quick comment here, having come in the last couple of months, there actually is a lot, like the case studies, all this communication, there's a ton of that recorded. It's raised really well internally to CCC right now. But what we need to start doing is flipping that, composing that. I think the problem is people are only getting your information most of the time if they specifically even have the keywords to search it. I think you need to focus on general exposure of like a general developer audience or a PM audience for education. Because if you can get an exposure of about 10 or 15% into ISVs that aren't aware or aren't sponsoring, they too will start writing blogs on this. It's just a matter of choosing what it is that you want to focus your SEO around, because it's an attention economy. But returning to the case studies, as we start building those out, that's something that I would like to specifically take on, because case studies are how I like to build out my templates for understanding, right? What is the gap? What is the technological solution? Where are we at? And it puts your customer or client right in the center, right? So give me good case studies and I will take them.
Wonderful. Thank you, Saul. And something that I would like to throw as well as an idea, and maybe Saul, you can help there as well. You have really good connections. I mentioned the Open UK, also you're part of the Open SSF, and this is something that I commented with Kate, having those use cases or having those stories that we could share, not just to our common audience, but to a broader audience, perhaps a blog as part of the OpenSSF or CNCF or other organizations within the Linux Foundation and outside of that. I think that will help us to reach a larger audience and make those connections, right? So I think that's one idea that we would like to push next year.
I want to say one quick thing that's kind of on this note of just not using shared language. I'm at a conference right now in San Jose. ARM is giving a talk on confidential computing. They just didn't put it in the title.
Oh, nice. Yeah.
Literally about coordinating and communicating that if you are working on confidential computing, right, state that when you state where your IP came from. Because
I'm guessing that's, yeah.
So
wonderful. So I guess that's AI Dev and Cassandra, right? Yeah, wonderful. All right. Any other ideas? Brainstorming?
Also a good idea in the chat from Sal, getting a training module out at LF about confidential computing. I think that would be a good target.
I would
I'll
also maybe go ahead,
Mike.
Nick.
Sorry, Mike.
I was just thinking
Go ahead, please.
I was just thinking that it would be great to get more visibility on, I mean, one of the goals, of course, is highlighting the projects. And I think we do a lot in terms of outreach, in terms of our focus tends to be on the category of confidential computing, not necessarily on the projects. And so maybe some dialing up the work that we're doing to show the innovation in the community is embodied in the projects, and talk about them more specifically, or more how the CCC is an incubator for this kind of innovation.
Mhm. Wonderful. We have our last 10 minutes, and I think we are about to wrap up. I would like to put Leonardo on the spot as the vice chair. So, Leonardo, any ideas that you like to throw here?
And here, yeah.
You're
We're
muted, Leonardo.
You're muted. Sorry for putting you on the spot.
No, that's not a
What a way
problem.
to put
I
on
don't
the
have,
spot.
yeah, I don't have any specific, I know, big ideas right now. I think the others shared good ideas. I do have, though, a small request. We should have CCC stickers, because I was not the only one to ask about that to Dan Middleton during Linux Plumbers this year. So I think it would be a good idea for us to showcase at least our logo.
I'd
Well,
love
that's
to
an
have a
interesting-
new sticker too.
Yeah, that's an interesting proposition. And in fact, me and Kate, we thought about creating like a marketing package. So everyone who's attending an event or wherever, they could make a request and say, hey, we would like this marketing package with stickers, flyers, swag.
Golf tees
share.
and
So-
golf tees and tea bags.
Oh,
We
yeah.
need
Aw.
Yeah. Yeah, we need ideas for that as well. A lot of brainstorming. I see that we have
I
a message
also-
from Marcus. Go ahead, Kate. Yeah.
Oh no, go ahead, Marcus.
So Marcus proposed working with Mitri to get CCC included in defense.
Yeah, hi guys.
Sounds
Sorry,
good.
I always have bad reception here, but I mean, just a spitball idea. I don't know if there's any value in working with MITRE to try and get CC into D3 which is the framework for sort of general purpose technologies, depending or protecting workloads and code across the board.
Yeah, I mean, basically, to be clear, if I'm ever communicating anything to a security audience, I already have to basically mentally put it into MITRE. And I think it would be a really good idea, right? To be communicating, this is defensive, right? This is a different threat model, but you need to have that kind of thinking in mind. If we were to take that step and then put together a short CC course, that would change the game because it's a clear pathway that sits inside of the already existing training. Well, not training, like actual model.
All right, Kate, were you going to say something?
I forgot, sorry. You can move on.
Oh, that's okay. So Justin has a question as well. The best way for us to apply for speaker slots, panels, stands for CCC organized events. Get in touch with Kate and Leonardo.
Yeah, so yeah,
That
we
would be the
always
best
have a
way.
great opportunities and then we typically bring it to the meetings here, but definitely feel free to, it's both, it's I think two-way. I think, you know, one of the good example was Manu bringing us the Identiverse panel slot. So he suggested the panel slot and then, you know, he is actually crafting the proposal and everything. So with that, CCC will support getting those panels and vice versa. Me going out there in RSA or, you know, I'll CC Summit, we'll have this talk, Pet Summit, we have this keynote slot available. We would love for you to participate, take advantage of this opportunity. So I think this meeting is definitely a great place for that. And but feel free to reach out to me. So for FYI, for event SIG, Lara from OC3 or Edgeless Systems will be leading that SIG. But given that OC3 is happening and she is swamped with work preparing, but in the meantime, I'll be, you know, helping her out mainly, but just so you know that would be the person to reach out to, that she will have a greater
Wonderful.
visibility of everything.
Wonderful. All right, folks. So we're wrapping up for the year. Thank you so much for everyone who has helped being part of this community. We really look forward to working together in 2024. I wish you all happy holidays and enjoy some free time with your families and friends, and all the best. It was a pleasure to be here.
Thank you, Nick, also for
All right.
all your initiative and all your effort helping the outreach committee moving forward and leading us, and really appreciate your engagement and your leadership. So thank you so much. And thank you everybody
Thank you.
for
My pleasure.
participating and being in this meeting, and looking forward to next year.
Thank you so much, guys.
Second the motion. Thanks, everybody.
Happy
All right.
holidays.
Bye,
Thank you, folks.
guys. Happy
you.
holidays.
Happy holidays. Bye-bye.